If you're watching this video, you're probably a content creator or passionate about photography, and you're thinking about buying a new camera. Cheap, but with good quality. Can the Sony α16400 still be the great camera for you in 2021? So, Sony released this camera 2 years ago. A very nice compact camera, mostly vloggers oriented, with a flip-out screen, which makes it very easy for vloggers to see themselves when they're filming. But it's also a great mirrorless for photography. Now, I have been using this for the last few weeks. Or maybe I should say I was forced to use the Sony a16400. If you want to know what happened, click on the link up here and cry with me when I discover what happened to my Canon EOS R. By the way, it was broken, now it's repairing. But I had a great time. I was very challenging for me using this camera. At the beginning, I didn't actually like it, but after using it for a couple of days, I must say that I am pretty impressed. I mean, the video quality is absolutely fantastic. 120 frames per second at 1080p? How is it even possible for such a small and cheap camera? I shot a cinematic sequence so you can see with your own eyes what I am actually talking about. But before moving to the video part, I want to test this camera for photography. So let's go play with it. I am now at Quincy Market, downtown Boston. Perfect place for some street photography. I'm gonna push this camera to its limits and see what I can do with the kit lens, 16 to 50mm f3.5. Let's get into it. What are your thoughts about those photos? Please let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to know if you think that those photos look good. If you are not a professional, which this camera is not meant to be used for professional, or if taking photos is your job, I would not recommend to buy this Sony a16400. But if you're using it just to have fun, it works perfectly. I included in those shots that you have just seen some captures that my husband took in New York, and he's a beginner, so as you can see, it works pretty fine. While I was taking some photos a few moments ago, and I was using the continuous shot, the high continuous shot, I realized that it takes, this camera needs some seconds to process those photos, so you're not able to take photos while the camera is processing those shots. Means that I missed some scene that I wanted to capture, but again, we're just having fun. We are not working, but that would be a problem if you're like shooting on a wedding and you miss some important scenes. Talking about the battery life, they don't last very long, so if you want to use this camera like for travel vlogging or for documenting and you need it the whole day, I would recommend to buy a list 5 battery, so you're good to go. It's not a full frame, you might already know that. This is a 16mm, as you might realize. I don't have a lot of space around me. My arm is fully extended. I wish I could have a wider perspective, but there's a lot of crop, so it looks like it's a 35mm. These problems can be easily solved buying an adapter that will allow you to then have a wider perspective and use your lens. The autofocus is also awesome. It keeps track, it detects my face. There might be some scenes where I'm out of focus, I am sure, but it's doing a pretty good job. Yeah. Well, I can say I'm surprised. I already realized that the autofocus was good while I was shooting the cinematic scene that I was telling you about before, and I am showing it to you right now. 120 frame per second at 1080p. I know. This is why I am so falling in love with this camera. The 120 FPS is just mind-blowing. And if this is not enough for you, let me tell you that I tested it in low light condition. Yes, this lens, the f3.5, you just push the ISO a little higher. Of course, you do get some ISO noise, but it really does the trick.
As long as we can keep the fire, I'll do whatever you do. Follow you anywhere. If I'm jealous.
Hello, welcome to Following Boston.
Thank you for this beautiful event.
Cheers.
It's been more than a year that I have not attended an event, and I'm finally here. One of the greatest events organized by Following Boston, supporting the Boston creative community, and I want to test the audio of this camera, especially the built-in microphone. So I'm not using a microphone, I'm just recording, and I hope you can hear me well. There are many people. I am inside, in a room, so I hope that you can hear my voice nice and clear. And of course, I wanted to take some photos during that night. So again, I increased the ISO, played a little bit also with the exposure, shadow, and highlights in post-production. And the result, to me, is pretty fine. I wish I could have something refreshing to drink right now. Let's try. Oh, so much better. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it and if you found it helpful, please leave me a thumbs up. That will help me a lot. If you have any kind of question about something that I did not cover in this video, please leave me a comment down below and I will answer back as soon as possible. And see you in the next video.
So let